Hey guys, welcome back to the Cycling Demystified podcast. And we are trying something a little bit different this week. So I'm going to record a solo episode, and we are just going to be turning the Thursday episodes into some short episodes. So we've been getting such positive feedback from our 10 Pillars series and releasing a podcast twice a week that we thought we'd see if we can keep the format going. So I'm going to keep releasing some smaller snippets each Thursday with some thoughts and some insights into the conversations we have with our riders, conversations we have with potential clients, and all the things that we think about when we're getting around bike fit, and all the questions and I guess the hang-ups that riders have before they come in for a bike fit, and all those kind of thoughts and questions that everyone has around a bike fit. And hopefully this will help you clarify where you want to go on this journey, where you want to go with your bike fit, if a bike fit is still relevant for you, is it appropriate, and at what point may you start to consider an expert, and all the mindset and philosophy around bike fitting to help you on your journey. So tune in and we will see where we go on it. So I don't really know where it's going to go, but yeah, let's see where it goes. It should be a fun journey. So today's episode is going to be all about appetite for risk. And this was after I had an interesting chat with a student this week who was asking for a student discount. And now this is a pretty interesting situation because we rarely give out any form of discount because we already feel that we provide amazing value through the work that we do. But what was interesting about this was why they were asking for a discount, why, as a student in particular, and obviously there's lots of companies out there offering student discounts. Like, what is it behind this mindset that kind of a student has to ask for a discount? Why are they entitled to this? And should it be appropriate for this kind of process? For is it appropriate for a bike fit? But just going back to the kind of value that we add in our bike fitting, it's kind of hard to convey sometimes how valuable this process is unless you've been through it. But certainly as a testament to that it works, then just check it out. Like, have a look around at our reviews on Google. There's almost 300 5-star reviews and no negative reviews. So just the reviews and our riders tell it all. So the process works. The process is solid, and quite often the feedback is how surprised riders are in how much they've learned and gained through the process. But back to our student and her situation, and this is a similar situation that many people find themselves in, where they are looking to get a bike fit done. They kind of know it's the right thing to do, but there's something about pricing. There's something about the kind of transaction that holds them back. So they kind of want to ask for a discount to make them feel like they got a good deal. And the reason why they feel like they have to get in air quotes, a good deal is because they haven't really grasped the whole value of the process yet. And this, might be really difficult for someone to grasp this unless they've gone through the whole bike fit process. But it's also our job as fitters to try and convey the value of this. But the core mindset behind the discount mindset is, for this student, is thinking that they don't have enough money. They don't have a lot of money, and so they don't want to go and spend it on a bike fit. And you may say the same things. Like, if people say, "Oh, I can't go on holiday because funds are a bit tight at the moment. So, can you give me a discount on that?" But certainly from a bike fit point of view, if you've already invested a tidy sum of money, or not insignificant amount of money, in a bike, or you're about to buy a new bike, and again, that's a significant investment of money, then a bike fit is unlikely to be significantly higher in cost than the bike itself. But Where the difference is that riders are much more willing to spend that money on a bike straight away because they see the value in that bike because of what it means. Like a bike means riding with their mates. It means getting accepted into the cycling tribe. It means escape. It means freedom. It means getting out on the road. It means being able to power yourself. This is why we love bikes, because it's getting places on your own steam and empowering you and being able to go fast and feel the thrill of speed and so many things and enjoy it with all your mates. And these are strong emotional values. They are strong social and emotional values. But what happens if your bike that you just bought or you have already, and you want to this bike to achieve all these things that I just talked about? But what happens if it's not allowing you to do those things? What happens if you bought the wrong bike, the wrong size, and you can't go fast and you're riding in discomfort? What happens if every time you get on the bike, you actually spend more time thinking about how painful the saddle is rather than enjoying the scenery going by? And this is also why folks are so willing to put up with discomfort and pain on the bike. Some of it is cultural. Yes, we know that we celebrate the suffering on a bike and so on. But there's hopes and dreams within the bike that the bike will take them to a good place, and maybe just pushing through that pain will take if they get beyond that pain, if they just keep on going, maybe that pain will just go away and eventually they'll get to that good place they want to get to. And so this is why we generally don't see that many people until the pain gets too real. You come to the bike fitter, you come to your doctor, you come to your physio when something's broken, when something's got so bad that you're having to kind of face up to it. And yeah, this is the reality. Like no one does prehab, or very few people do the prehab. They just end up doing the rehab instead. But this is also our goal as bike fitters. Instead of just simply handing out discounts, we kind of want folks to think about their fits, think about the value of it, and convince folks that bike fits are really, really worthwhile, a really worthwhile investment in their knowledge and in their riding goals, so that they can do the stuff that they want to do. And it's just like investing into anything else in life, whether that's money or fitness. For example, if you've entered challenging cycle sportive or Grand Fondo, like the Marmotte or the Attack, the reason why you've entered is because it's challenging. It's going to require a lot of effort, and it's also expensive. And there's lots of expenses along the way. You've got to get there. You've got to travel there. You've got to find accommodation. You've got to find food. And so it's a big investment, both in time and money. So, if you've invested or you've decided that you're going to tackle this challenge, are you simply just going to turn up on the day, having not done any training, and expect to have a great time? No. Like, you're likely going to do some training. You're going to find a training plan to follow so that you can get the most out of your experience of the event. And if you're really committed, then you'll probably find a coach to help you through this process. But turning up to the start of an event having done no training is like blowing your money on a new bike without having had a bike fit. Like, sometimes you can wing it just through sheer ignorance or stubbornness, but it's rarely the most enjoyable or effective or efficient way to go about it. So, yeah, going back to our student who wanted a bike fit but didn't want to pay the full price, I'd argue that money itself is rarely the root issue. It's more about where the money is allocated and your mindset around that money. Are you actually spending the money in the best way possible? Are you allocating that money in where it actually makes sense? Like, for example, if I had a limited budget, I'd probably prefer to allocate some money to a bike fit and take some of that money that I was going to spend on the overall bike onto the bike fit. Because what's the use of having a really fancy bike if you can't ride it comfortably? I'd much rather have a less fancy bike and feel really amazing on it, and the rides to feel really amazing. Because at the end of the day, I actually value the riding experience much more than the bike itself as an object. The bike is just the tool to get me there. And, that spectrum is different for everybody. And I do love my bike as, a thing. It's a beautiful thing. But really, the root experience that I want from the bike is riding. It's going out. It's feeling the wind in my hair. It's feeling the road buzz, the kind of joy of speed, all the rest of it. Riding with my mates, and all that fun that comes with it. And so, when it comes to the buying decisions, what you choose really depends on what your appetite for risk is. Personally, I like to be in control. I like going into situations knowing what to expect. So it makes sense. I became a bike fitter because I wanted to know. And so bike fitting makes a lot of sense. For me, if I was going to in bike, I want to know that my buying decision is a good one. I want to know that it's versatile. I want to know exactly what I'm investing my money into, because it took me time to earn that money, and money is precious. Also, time is precious, but time is probably more precious than anything else. So, getting stuff wrong requires, things to be fixed, and that's just more time, which takes time away from the actual riding itself. But I get it. Like, others like to wing it, and that's fine too. It's just the risk of things going wrong can be much greater. You just kind of wing it. I mean, that's the nature of it. And so, yeah, you just need to make a calculation whether or not that potential risk, that potential mistakes through trial and error might actually cost them more in the future in terms of time and money. So yeah, I guess the question comes down to it: like, do you want to pay for stuff now, or do you want to pay for it later, either in time or money? And sometimes injury, particularly when we're doing kind of hard, repetitive sports. Is your frame size right? Is the crank length working for you? Is the bar width right from the start? And if it's not, then wouldn't you want to know? So that you could put aside some money to change parts out if you needed to, or maybe it's within parameters where you can kind of deal with it. But when you don't know, when you're just kind of guessing, you're just ignorant about it, then yeah, you could be setting yourself up for some kind of injury or discomfort, or just not enjoying the bike riding that you thought you would want to, that you wanted in the end. And I only know this because I've been through it. I've made all the mistakes. I made all these mistakes. I tried to figure everything out for myself. I thought that I could do it, and in the end, I couldn't. And that's where my eyes were opened up, and I had to get an expert to help me out. I know exactly where you guys are at. Where everyone goes to, but at some point, actually reaching out and probably some of the best stuff. Or the best decision that you can make, so that actually, as we always say in our bike fits, our job is not to kind of prescribe, but to give you as much knowledge as possible so that you can make those decisions for yourself. So, are you a risk taker? Do you want to just figure things out for yourself and just kind of keep going through that trial and error process? Or do you value the riding itself? Do you value having more time to actually ride your bike? And to do that, you need to know the right path, spend some money up front, save some money in the long run, and save some time, rather than just constantly kind of tinkering and fiddling without really knowing the right path. Anyway, well, hope that was useful, those kind of thoughts. Let me know what you think. Be interesting. Everyone's situation is different, but yeah, let me know what you think, and yeah, see you on the next one. Bye.
Suffering from numb hands, tingling toes, and any other persistent discomforts when you ride? These are all signs that your bike fit could be improved. If you're bike fit curious, get in touch with Way or Matt by emailing info@foundation.fit or finding them on Instagram @FDN_bikefit. Finally, for all your bike servicing needs, custom dream bike or hand-built wheels, go to www.frequencycycleworks.com or find me on Instagram @frequencycycleworks. Until next time, keep on spinning.